a MBE educator and teacher trainer. She holds a degree in education in computer sciences, a diploma in ICT education, a master's in English in education management at UCIL, and international certifications. As well as teaching, she is keen on sharing her expertise in national and international ELT conferences in the USA, Brazil, Panama, Santo Domingo, Bolivia, Nicaragua, Mexico, etc. Currently, she is working at Universidad San Ignacio del Loyola, UCIL, Cifra Consultora Digital Manager, TESOL, Call IS Leader, and as an academic and IT freelance consultant. So thank you, Olenka, for being this afternoon with us, sharing your ideas. So whenever you're ready, you can get started. And please, virtual applauses for Miss Villavicencio. Thanks for being here.
Okay, thank you very much for coming here. I am very pleased that you are here from different parts of Peru, from Lima, Trujillo, Arequipa, Puno, Chanchamayo, all right? And also from Mexico. You tell me about here, Mexico, Ecuador, yeah, Colombia, and everyone, okay? I am very happy to be here. I can see some faces. Janet, Arai, Monte, Marisol, Luz, Roxana, Esther, Erica, Magali, Glenda, Lucia, Flor, Exxon, Yolanda, Marixa, Monica, Susan, Rosia Reyes is here, Susana, Selmita. They are also my colleague. Ruben is here. Hello, everybody. So until the moment, we are 54 participants. Thank you because it's Friday. I know that you relax on Friday, all right? Because, yeah, it's the last day of the week, but you are here to share some experiences with me. I have plenty of different people, all right, here. I'm very happy. Well, the most important during this hour, all right, is your participation. I want that you interact with me a lot. And if you have any questions, something, please let me know. We have exactly like 1 hour, okay, of full presentation. And after that, you are going to ask me some questions if you prefer, all right, about this topic or about any tool that you consider important and you would like to share with me. Okay, good afternoon, Erica. So let's start all together. I am going to share with you over there. Okay, let's start all together, all right? Thank you. So the title of the presentation is Keeping Up with Virtual Team Activities. What can I put keeping up with virtual team activities? Let me know, please, because I wanted to, okay, admit somebody. Could you please try to put to record? Is it possible to record the video? Are you recording?
Yeah, it's recording, don't worry.
Oh, yeah, okay, perfect. All right, so this is about the virtual team activities. By the way, my name is Olenka Villavicencio. I have a lot of colleagues, okay, who are here. I am very thankful for that. Okay, so let's start. All right, let's start. I hope that you enjoy that. All right, this is our agenda. First of all, we are going to do an overview about the team. What is a team for you? What about the breakout rooms? How effective are to work in breakout rooms with our students? We have different choice boards. We are going to reflect, and I giving you some social media that I use with my students and also with you. All right, so I am going to put here. Let's continue. Okay, the first thing I would like that you, okay, participate, and please go to goodclub.com/ole. I am going to put in the chat box, okay, this link, all right, and yeah, and you are going to tell me how do you define team in your own words. You can write multiple times. How do you define team in your own words? What is for you team, okay? On the chat box, I put a link. The only thing that you need to do is this. www.goodclub.com/ole, or on the chat box also I put a link. Okay, so hi, thank you, Celia, for that. That's it, very simple. Okay, that I am going to show. Please try to put your answers over there, whereas I am checking here. And I enter to my Good Club. Okay, and please, maybe if you don't have any connection, try to use the chat box as well. Okay, if you want, try to choose the chat box as well. Okay, give me a second. I have 2 people here in the, more people that I am admitting. Okay, so I am here and I am going to display it. They are the results until the moment about here. If you can see immediately, you tell me different things, okay? You tell me, for example, that team is together, people, crew, decision, excellent, ideas, collaborative, follow the goal together, well done, task, common, objective, cooperation, yeah, goal, group, improve, yes, curious, curiosity, results, common, excellent ideas to take into account. Yeah, method, good, results, yes, decisions. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your participation, cooperation, support, happiness, get involved, excellent, helping each other. Sounds very good, helping each other. We learn more if we can share between us, cooperation and so on, achieve. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. So this is about team for you. What is team for you? And I am going to tell you that this is a team. Everybody knows Mafalda, all right? So together, everyone achieve more. And this is a reason that we need to motivate and encourage our students to work in teams. Sometimes it's a little difficult at first, but it's necessary to train little by little, step by step, that they feel confident during the process, all right? So this is team. Try to remember this. Together, everyone achieves more. Similar, that's something that you put, because you can mention over there, here. Oh, everything is there. Perfect. So we are going to continue, all right? In the second part, I am going to tell you, what do you think is important to work in breakout rooms? What do you consider is important to work in breakout rooms? Could you please try to put in the chat box? First of all, do you work in breakout rooms or not? Roxana put also funny moment, share, all right? And what do you think? Is it important to work in rooms? Maybe you work Microsoft Teams, or you work with another tool, but everything in rooms. Do you consider, is it important to work over that? Share, more personalized moment. Yes, Almita, let everyone participate. Yeah, make a student feel confident. Yeah, Rosaura, Erica, in every class is so important to interact with each other. Yeah, yes, of course. Sometimes we think that, oh, okay, but we don't have enough time to work in breakout rooms because we need to follow the zeal levels, follow the progress mat, and so on. But it's so crucial that you don't work with breakout rooms, but I think it's very important that the student interact with each other. Thank you very much for being honest. Thank you, thank you. Maybe you are going to try. Yeah, it's very important for interaction. Yes, it's amazing because they work to each other. Develop oral competence. Definitely, yes. Foster collaborative learning. Absolutely agree with you. According to Michael, he said, are important since the students have the chance to share their thoughts and liaise with their peers. Perfect. All the participation are so crucial, but it's necessary, okay, that the students try to assign roles. Maybe you assign roles to the student the first time, but also the student try to choose, when they are in the teams, who is the best to be the leader, okay? who lead the group, the presenter. At the end of the activity of the task, you are going to present to each other. Monitor is a person, okay, who controls that everybody speaks in English, no in Spanish, maybe the time and so on. And the note taker because he's the secretary. Listen to me, the rules depends on the quantity of the student that you have. Maybe you have a big group and you need more roles. That is possible that you put the timekeeper and you subdivide. Or maybe you have a less group and only you need 3 roles. In my case, okay, I usually work in group of 4 or in group of 3, okay, because of the quantity of the student that I have, 25, 30 students, but it depends, okay? So what is the most important here? To put roles are important. So what do you say? How do your radio use or might use breakout rooms or rooms? You show me here in the chat box. What instruction could you give to the student before entering groups? What are the instructions? Could you please try to put in the chat box what instruction do you consider important before entering groups? Okay, try to put here in the chat box. Okay, Juanita said social interaction. Yeah, well done. I am going to put here, yeah? What instruction could you give to student before entering groups? What about instruction? Tell me. Okay, respect one another. Excellent. Clear objective, use of English, topic to the deal with, the rules, clear instruction. Excellent. All of them are so crucial. The task, the time, instruction. Yes, the time is specific. It's necessary that you say 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and so on. Divide the task. You are going to be assigned to do, to this, and then when the teacher enter, that everybody work together. Divide task, very good. Good evening, Gertrudis. Good evening, everybody. So thank you for your participation. All right. The next question is, what kind of things can the moderator monitors? What do you think? Maybe in some breakout rooms you need a moderator, okay? The moderator is like the monitor. What kind of things can the moderator monitors? What do you think here? Cooperative work that everybody works, for example, the participation that everybody expects, and in equal. This is crucial, Mercedes. Thank you. Equal participation. Sometimes it's difficult because we have one student who always speaks and the other they are mute. But little by little. Carlita, hi from Ecuador. Hello, hello everyone. Hello. Thank you. So that's it. Okay, perfect. I'm going to tell you only to trust something that you said in the chat box. For example, you said clear instruction. You mentioned that. Excellent, very good. Also, it's important that the student have slides, yeah, because what happened? Maybe you forgot multiple share screen, to activate in Zoom or to activate in other tools. Or maybe sharing the Google slide, and I am going to show you how can I do with my student, or maybe the student take a photo, and so on. Okay? Make sure that everybody knows what group they should be, because Miss, I am in group 5, in group 6, whatever. Miss, I don't belong to any group. Yeah. So all of them are necessary to take into consideration before entering to the breakout room. Encourage a student to turn on microphone and camera. This is a little difficult at first, but if you have clear rules, for example, that not in all the session is necessary that you turn on your cameras, but maybe when we start the class, okay, to say hi, hello, everybody, 3 minutes at the end and in the breakout room, little by little. And they are going to do, because they know that when they work in groups and they turn their cameras on, is better, that they recognize, and maybe they are going to make groups in the future. Perfect. Here, you mentioned about the timer and the rules. Well done, perfect. Very good. All right. So this is about me. Some of you, yeah, you know me over there. But the first day of classes, I always, okay, try to try to let my student know me, okay? And I encourage them to ask me questions. And I only put some pictures, some bubbles, only the most important things. It's not necessary that you share all your life, obviously, but only some part that you consider, because the idea is that motivate to the student, tell you who they are, okay? Could you please ask me question? I am going to tell you according to the bubbles. In the chat box, could you please ask me questions? Okay, David Chavez said collaborative pair work. Yeah, all right, David, this is over here. Excellent, Susan. When is my birthday? Oh, my birthday is on October the 8th, okay? Miguel Grau for Peruvians, that they know that it's holiday, but last year was not holiday due to the pandemic. Okay, excellent. Here in the chat box. Well done. Have you traveled abroad, Oriel? Yes, definitely. I love traveling abroad, okay? I traveled to different countries, especially here in South America, okay, and also to United States, but I have never traveled to Europe, and I hope to travel very soon next year. All right, thank you. What else? In the chat box, what else? Another question you are going to tell me here. All right, how long have you been teaching, working as an English teacher, Olenka? Hi, Ruth, hello. Oof, for a long time, since I was 18 years old. Okay, I think the battle since I was a child, because I always liked teaching. Okay, but officially 18 years old that I started, like, yes, I started as a trainee, okay, in IGNA, Trujillo, okay, and after that, I worked in different universities here in Trujillo and then in Lima. Okay, in the chat box here, are you with your parents in the photo? Yes, they are my parents, my lovely parents. Their names are Enrique and Margarita. And thanks God that nowadays, okay, I am in Trujillo with them. Due to the pandemic, I came back from Lima to Trujillo only to stay for a week as usual, or only for 3 days. But I am still here and I am very happy because they are adults and I need to take care of them. Thank you. This is Roman from Pura. Hi, Roman. Hello. Okay, so always motivate your student questions about you, all right? So this is the choice board that I am going to share with you. 6 different tasks that I always work with my student, and I hope that you enjoy a lot. The first thing that I always use is use the grid view in Google Slides. The majority of you, okay, use this section in the Google Slides. So how can I do that? Easy. When you have the Google slide, you can encourage your student to work in a collaborative task. So I have a template like this, for example, the reflection. And after that, okay, you are admitting a lot of here, okay. So this is, for example, my Google slides. I put the reflection of 2020 over there. And here, I am going to do this. View, grid view, all right? So in the grid view, I realized that the student are working at the same time. And for example, something that the student do, it's a reflection of 2020 with different past, present perfect, simple past, okay, in the future, and they are going to put some photos. So what is the idea? That in the breakout rooms, they are going to share their photos and so on. Okay, this is a collaborative work that they use a lot. Okay, no problems. All right, Sonia. Hi, Sonia. Don't worry. Okay, welcome to this part. So this is a very good alternative. I don't know if you use the Google slide. How do you use the Google slides? Here, this is, for example, this semester, I am teaching English free. This is the semester. So everything I do in the Google Slides over there, because I can work individually. If you can see over there, I can work in groups, is we are going to have here, and everything is there, okay? And I mentioned with teams. Something that I mentioned is the teams. For example, if you have a look here, all right, all the time I put, I'm going to clear over there, and I put here. Upload the letter in our Google Slides, include the name of your friends at the end of the letter, okay? And the student try to choose, for example, what team do they prefer, okay? So all the time I am working on that. Do you use Google Slides? Could you please tell me, do you use Google Slides? How do you use Google Slides? Try to tell me some advice here for the other student. I always use in works. If you are going to use over there, this is for this semester. This is only a different thing that they are doing. And I encourage and I put with my Pinterest with different sections in the Google Slides. So sometimes the student forget to take a photo or something. I include all the activities or some part of the activities in the Google Slide. No? For example, like this, when they said working groups, I am going to close over there, leave over there. It's much better, sorry, over there, yeah. Working group of 4, all right, and use trend bears. Discuss your trend as possible, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I am reading your chat box. Okay, Google Live because they are more attractive or more practical to use. Yes, Ruth, definitely. Thank you. Yes, everybody. Sometimes use the Google Slide. Erika, yes, no, Selmita. Okay, I encourage that you are going to use the Google Slide. It's very, very easy to use. And what is the most important, that you have evidence. So the students enter to this link because I have the link on Canvas, or if you have the Google Classroom, and only with a link, and we are going to have over there. Yep. So this is the way that I work. So you are working all together. I only put, again, view, grid view, and I am checking that everybody is working at the same time. No, everybody, for example, about this section, so everybody is working in groups. Okay, this is the idea. If I have time, I'm going to do with you, but it's 6:25. So the idea today is to mention how can I work. So please consider working on Google Slides. Google Slides, it's definitely Google Slides, Google Docs, Google Sheet, everything related to the Google, okay, is necessary here. Thank you. Good information. Thank you, Selmita. Okay, number 2 is the Google Jamboard. Something that I always use with the students is the Google Jamboard. In the Google Jamboard, so easy, like a board. Right now, you are going to use Nearpod if you want. I am using Nearpod also in this semester, but in all the semester, I use the Google Jamboard. So it's important that you encourage a student and try to give them some structure. How can I put that? I have different groups, yeah? So I think that it's a good idea that you are going to put a code and the name of the team, the names of the people, no? For example, imagine that you are a tech speaker, write some top tips to be an unforgettable TED speaker, and you have this one, okay? If the person maybe didn't come, he or she is going to do like this person, Xiomara, who didn't come to classes, and after he mentioned and he put by this. What is important this section? Because everything is only in one place. Only you have to give one link and that's all, okay? When I work with this section, you have different mentions over there. If you have here, you have a list, okay? To work here, it's possible that you divide the Google Jamboard and you are going to compare. You are going to use with grammar, with vocabulary, and so on. All right. Can you make prediction about life after this coronavirus pandemic? And then will, prediction, decisions going to. So I encourage you to use in different ways this part. Okay. Let's have a look. The only thing that you have to do is, and you are going to add framing. So it's not necessary one link, another link, another link. No, because the student confused. Only one link, everything. Okay? Who of you use here? All right, David, a student with Jamboard. They have created many things to support their ideas. Excellent, excellent, well done. Okay, Jose, Luis, greetings from Ecuador. Okay, thank you. So this is the way that you use Jamboard, okay? Very nice with you. How do you do with Jamboard? I think that the majority work with Jamboard. It's very easy to work with that, okay? So this is the tip number 2. that is to use with the Google Jamboard, all right? The other part is boost your grammar through different games. We are going to use different games. Something that I do with my student, okay, something that I do with my student is options. All the time I give options. Sometimes, okay, what do you prefer? Option A, option B, sometimes A, B, or C, because some students don't want to do maybe one activity. So all the time I tell you, okay, I am going to give you these different possibilities. You have to choose, you have to decide in your groups and so on. You have 10 minutes to play the game. You have 5 minutes to finish the report on our Google Jamboard, and they report. What they have to do? There are plenty of different websites, okay, to work with grammar activities. Plenty, a lot of this, okay? After I am going to give you a different links because I have everything organized. One of them is the word wall that I have here, okay? The only thing that you need is to put a click and you create them. So when they are in breakout rooms, they know because they have the link here, okay? So the only thing that I am going to put is here, how much or how many, for example. And then you are going to explain about this section, that this is the only thing, and you create. And it's a good idea also that you don't give all the questions. No, all the question is not necessary. Maybe you put only, for example, in here, how much or how many? And then the student try to complete because it's necessary for them to know what do you use and also to include the auxiliary of the verb. Okay? So I do this kind of activities in breakout rooms, yeah, during the breakout rooms. No, like I play here for everybody, for the with the 20 students, with the 25 students, no. I am going to do this kind of activities in breakout rooms. With everybody have the roles, the activities, and they enjoy a lot. The only thing that I have to do is enter, and I realize about this. Okay, Jamboard in groups or individual? I work in both. I work for groups, okay, when we are going to do some activities, and individual if you want to report something. And also it depends on the number of the students that you have. Okay, for both you are going to use, and they are free. This is the most important. Okay, so this is the option number one, as I told you. Students enjoy that. You are going to put, and according to the different levels, no? Exactly according to the different levels. One student asks a question, the other answer, then this student asks a question, the other answer, and so on. Ping pong. The idea is that rotate, okay, among the students. Great. So this is one activity that I am going to give you here. At the end, I am giving you the link of the presentation. Yeah, don't worry, because everything is in Genially. But just in case, this is the word world, okay, that you are going to interact. If you want, I am going to use also, if you in Zoom, the remote control. For example, Celia, I am going to give you, Celia, the remote control, and you are going to ask the question. Is it okay, Celia?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, yeah. So I give Celia the remote control, no? And I told the student that they do exactly the same with their partners. So if you can see here is waiting for Celia to control your screen. Accept, Celia, please. And the idea is that every member try to participate. Yeah. You are
I
going
guess
to
I can
resume.
control it now.
Yeah, okay. Resume. The first, yeah. Spin it. And this is Celia. Spin it on the back. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Celia. Thank you. And you are going to do. Zelia, ask your question.
Pairs
How
of
much
shoes.
or how many? You are going to complete with how much or how many?
Oh, okay. How many?
Yeah, complete.
How many pairs of shoes do you have?
Okay, so you encourage a student, okay, to do the instruction, okay, because here is not all the questions, so the student try to think, okay, and realize about that. And this is something that I use with the student, with the remote control. No, the remote control is very important to use with that. And when you are going to finish, you are going to put, you are going to close the control remote. Okay, so thank you. This is about this part. In the chat box, let me check. Yes, how much and how many? Yes, thank you. Thank you because you are very active and you help me a lot. Thank you, Celian. Thank you very much for your participation. So easy, simple. It doesn't matter about this part. Okay, the next section, for example, that I also work with the student is this. Okay, maybe it is this part. That is kid games. I also do use this page, and I use a lot of pages, but just in case I put in the chat box also over there. Okay. And the students in groups, they have, no? For example, this is the article. And what is important that the student choose their color. They have to say, okay, you prefer this, that, on those. So you are going to put about here, okay, throw the dice here, and then it's, for example, number 1. So I am the color red here, maybe you are another here, and then you continue, no? So this is articles, okay, to define about true or false. I saw an interesting movie recently. Oh no, it's false. It's not anime. It's an interesting movie. Yeah, it's not that, something like that. Okay. And then they continued, and they love playing this game. For example, the other person said number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. What is for 4? And you have to complete. No, I have an older brother or sister. Okay, so this you are going to give the remote control to anybody. Okay, anybody, and I work in the breakout rooms exactly with them. Do you like here? There are plenty, as I told you before, of different games that you can play. I always give option to the student because, for example, for me in the same unit, I do like a review of different grammar points. So instead of reviewing the game, okay, and I realize if they do or not. So I think that you like here a lot. All right. So this is another thing. Okay. Boost your grammar skills through games. Okay. We have plenty of games to work with them. Another thing that I consider, and I know I saw, okay, I have a workshop with Peru Tech because they invited me, okay, and I gave a workshop related to Genially. All my presentation, the majority, because not all of them, but all my presentation are usually in Genially because you can refresh, you can do different things. So I consider it's a good idea that you practice, that you do something. I am very happy if you, for example, attended the workshop that I gave in January, I think so. And maybe with this workshop, okay, right now you know more about Genially. Okay, Ruth, one question. How am I going to use a remote control with these activities? Here in my Zoom, this is appear the remote control. You have to update your Zoom. When you update your Zoom, appear more tools like the remote control, like emojis and different things, reactions and so on. If you are going to have here in my Zoom and also have different reactions and so on. So when you put, please, if you have the Zoom, go to the setting, and in setting is one part of the remote control and you put on. And that's it. This is the idea when you use the remote control. Would you like to experiment with the remote control? Okay, I am going to give you, yep. Oh, give me a second because I think that something here. Yeah, Genially is excellent, yes. Yes, Genially is excellent, yes. Totally agree. So this is about Genially. You can do everything in Genially, really. I love Genially because you can adapt, and this is easily, you can add different things, very easy to use. So we are going to work on here. This is something, if you can see here, no, all the presentation that I have, well, here are in Genially. This is the free version. This is not the paid version. For that reason, this is not like organized, because if you have the paid version, you have the possibility to be more organized when you create desktops, but here not, but I have a presentation here. So for example, in this part, it's about some presentation to visit London, all right? Why? Because people or students learn English. So it's important that they know something about London. Okay, Marisol and Susan, all right. Give me a second, we're going to do about here. So this is about the presentation that I have about. And I am going to tell you that you have different possibilities to do because you are going to add, no, you are going to do this section only with this picture. You can motivate a student to ask you questions about the places, what places maybe will they go in the future, and so on. Okay, so we are going to, the majority know the big band, all right? The majority know, okay, yeah, the bus decker, yes, engineering. What
Oops, sorry, I guess I
yes, no
something.
problem, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. I am doing this to take if they are here. So all the time I have here my cat with London. I hope to visit one day, but it's something that a student enjoy that because, okay, because it's important that they know about the country, okay? One possibility is this. This is English one. You are going to do different here, no? You said only use, for example, ISL collective, and you are going to choose short videos, so you create your short videos over there. And when you are going to do this like, yes, I think so. You're going to do like this section, for example, okay, and you are going to put plate over there. And then if you want, let's have a look that this is only one slide, you have everything, okay? This is the reason that you have in only one slide, one thing. And you are going to put different movement over there, only simple, okay? And something like that, and you can encourage with the video to tell different things to the student.
I'm right. I'm in London today.
So, like this, no? I'm in London today. So what is here? And you're going to tell me, what is here? And then it passes. Yes, Marisol, yes, definitely, London. So the student understand because you say, I'm in London today. I'm in Trujillo today. I'm in Peru. I'm in Ecuador. I'm in da. Easy. This is only for that reason.
But I'm not here for long. I have to get a train to Brighton at 3 o'clock.
Okay, and then this is depends how do you want to work. All right. So this is one score for 45. So this is depends of the level also the student that you have. English one, no? And instead that you introduce yourself, also you say, okay, you are going to travel because the student love traveling. Okay, this is from Peru, the passport. You need a passport and also you need a visa. And I encourage a student to say, my name is Olenka Villavicencio. I was born in October the 8th. I am Peruvian. I live in Trujillo, Peru. For example, like that. Simple thing like that, that how can you introduce yourself is easy. Then we are going to include different part. For example, this is let's have tea, okay? Everybody loves tea. Not the tea time, 5 p.m., the tea time. And then you encourage a student also to answer WH question and to practice who, what, when, and something like that. No? What is important in only one slide, also you can put everything.
Nothing says Britain more than, nope. No. Keep going. Ah, yes, there it is. A nice cup of tea.
Different kind of thing that you want.
We know we have China to thank for introducing tea to the Western world, but how did it make its way to England and become the cultural obsession it is today? Well, that's all thanks to one Portuguese woman. The year 1662. The person? Catherine of Braganza.
Catherine of Braganza. Yeah. So we're going to encourage the student to say.
She had just won the hand of England's King Charles II with the help of a very large dowry.
Okay. So you are going to do different kind of exercises that you want with this information. And maybe you said, oh my goodness, and you go, imagine that you're arriving in London. So always try to put situations, no, not like the common things. Okay, today, personal information about you. No, always try to create different ideas to present the student. For example, the officer said, where are you from? Where are you staying at? What are you going to do in London? What's your name? Something here. And they believe that they are in London. So you put a map of London, everything related to that, okay? So you always encourage people to do different things. And everybody knows about the Big Bang, only we are going to do a little activity about this section with London.
Big Ben is not a person, Big Ben is not a clock.
Big Bang is not a person, so the only thing that you are going to put is not. And then I am going to admit, and you are going to fill in the blank. Okay, give me a second again, don't worry, because I am admitting, yeah, over there. And then you are going to check over there, bingo, yes. And then you are going to continue with this, that this is here. Note, it's not a person.
Not a clock. Big Ben is not a tower, it's a bell, ding dong.
Sure, no, and in short, you are going to create here. So what is that? And you are going to share the link, don't you? Yeah, yes, I am going to do it. Tower, yes. So Big Ben is not a tower, it's a bell, all right? And different activities, if you can see, different activities to consider, blah, 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 blah. Different activities that you are going to consider in only one slide. That you are going to do different thing in only one slide, okay? You are going to do about this section and so on. So this is the other part that I'm going to use with Genially, all right? Here, the other thing that I always encourage is to use, what is this robot? What do you think? What is this? Does the teacher conduct the activity or the student? This is depends, Ariel. You are going to do both. Sometimes the first time I did it, okay? By the second time, also the student can create projects. And I am showing you in number 6, yeah, how can they do that? Yes, when they speak and improve Pardo, they are going to do more, okay? And a student create lovely, lovely presentation. The only thing is that you are going to give the opportunity to them because they are from this generation and they work better at the tool than us. But it's necessary, okay, that we support them with clear instructions, goals, and something that you want to consider in the presentation. Yes. So what is that? What do you say? What is that? Here in the chat box I have here, this activity could increase their, I love Sonia Lopez. Yes, I love. Because the student familiarize and the student say, oh, I am going to travel. Yes, maybe one day. So I need to know about that. Okay, so everything is possible. I always use with my student, okay, this section that we are going to put over there. I think that I forgot it here, no problem. This is with the link. So this is number 5. I go here, 3, 4, 5. Here is the Wakelet. Okay, the Wakelet, very useful to use. You can bookmark anything. So this is the idea. When you find something interesting, immediately in the bookmark. Because if you are going to put like in the past, not in your emails, if you put in one Word document, then you will forget the Word document or you will delete the Word document and everything, maybe you will lose that. So I don't know if you use Wakelet, definitely, yes, all the tech tools that I show during my presentation are free. Well, free, and also there is the paid version, but I always use the free because I know that the majority don't want to invest money on that. So for that reason, I use the free version. Okay, everything is free, everything is free. Don't worry, yes, everything is free. You can use the free version, yes, of course. That's right, Marisa, hi. So here, okay, this is my Wakelet. My Wakelet is free. Everything that I have here, this is for you, and you can feel free to share with your colleague. with everybody that I know, okay? This is my wavelet, Olenka Villavicencio ELT. I am going to put in the chat box, but at the end I'm going to give you the link, don't worry, but just in case, this is the link. And in this section, what is important? Because you can consider this and you can put everything that you wanna in only one part, okay? In only one section. If you want that the student reviewed about grammar, like for example, today that I show you only 2 instructions, here you have plenty of different web tools, okay? Like this, Cool English, the road to grammar, everything is there, and they are public. When you have the visibility, if you only want for you, it's private. Or maybe you are going to do unlisted. Unlisted is only for the people that you want to see. And I show you later that I work with my student unlisted. Okay, so I have some boards that are public for everybody. You follow me, please, if you want, okay? And I have something that we are going to use, the grammar practice over there. I mentioned all the links that I mentioned are there. This is the board games that we have, the road to grammar, everything is there, okay? So if you are, for example, interested in virtual reality, here, this is another thing that is my passion, or maybe vocabulary, some tech tools, everything is free. Everything is free here. You have here a website, YouTube channel, social networks, collaborative, everything is there, okay? And I have more that I am working on that. Yep, so this is the idea that you have on Wavelet. What do you have to do and how can you do that? I am going to do that up here. The only thing that you do is create a new collection, okay? You are going to put a title, for example, you are going to put here about the presentation. What's the name of the presentation? Is keeping up with virtual team activities. Yeah, so I mentioned here and I put, for example, virtual team activity. Yeah. I'm going to tell you how can you work this. Very easy. You are going to add a cover if you want from your point of view, or maybe if you want to cover something. You are going to click here. This is ready. You are going to put in the full, have cover image if you prefer. And here you have the possibility to put the link, or if you prefer, a text or image, or we are going to add a PDF or something that you prefer. Okay? For example, I give you this, no? The word, wall, my net, the article. So click here, I go there, click over there, and this is ready. Immediately, okay? In seconds is this. How do you do with the students? I am going to share with you. It's new for me. Okay, Rosario, thank you, thank you. Oh, Katia, you like here? Yes, I like, and I use with my students. The first thing that I have to do is I put unlisted. Yeah. When I put about unlisted, I put don't, for example, like this section. And in don't, okay, this is the virtual activities that I have. I have here one part that is invite, no, invite. So this gives you a link. Copy the link, and that's it. This is the only thing that your student needs. For example, yes, it's similar, Marisol, but here we're going to have here. So nice, I need to, okay, don't worry. Bye, Ruth, take care, don't worry. So you are going to enter to this section, virtual team activities, and you please try to put something that you like, any link that you prefer, maybe the PDF or anything that you prefer, try to consider. And you are going to work. Is similar to Classroom? No, Google Classroom is for another things. Well, we are going to, some part of the Google Classroom have this some kind of functionality. Google Classroom is more like a classroom, okay? But I am showing you how can I work with the students, yeah? For example, when the students work in projects, maybe to do research in groups, they are going to work. So they find some kind of information that is interesting for them, they are going to put there. Blah, 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 there. All right. So please, come on. You are going to put like and so on. Again, yeah. When you enter to the link, please, to show you, enter to the link. you are going to put plus, and you are going to put any web link that you prefer, any web link that you prefer. Maybe a website that you love, okay, doing with your student, or maybe a song, or maybe a poem, anything that you like, or an image if you prefer, or a PDF. The only thing is that show you how can it work. Okay, in the chat box I have here, thanks Olenka. Okay, yes, thank you Rocio, thank you for telling me. All right, so come on, let's have a look. And you have to change also the layout, okay? You are going to put in compact view, in the grid view, if you prefer in the mood board or something like that. Come on, do it because it's 6:53 and I have like 10 minutes or something like that. If you want also, you are going to put here, okay? For example, I am going to put here, yeah, just in case. To you with our students in class, yeah, whatever. Yeah. And this, you have the possibility when you are going to put down over there, okay? You are going to have the possibility to listen. And the children love because this is the robot. So when you are going to listen here, you listen to the robot. Give me a second to check over there. Okay, I am going to, let's have a look.
Virtual team activities to use with our students in class.
Oh, my goodness, this is really difficult. What is all right about this part? Do they need to create an account? It depends, Janet Flores. If they want to use like me, yes. But if not, only they need a link. Some students only use the link. For example, right now, Lourdes Oriele Puente reacted to the item in the collection vocabulary and tongue twisters. Okay, Lourdes, yeah, it's okay. So I am checking here the student or the colleague in this case that who are putting about these virtual teen activities. So I know that Rosemary tried to put something, Lourdes tried to put a like in the order. If you have my student, okay, I use with my student and this is the next activity that I can show you how can I work with them, okay? So good, good, good. I am going to refresh this to show you how this is working. Yeah. All right. So I am refreshing this part. All right. Second. And you can see that right now I have 3 likes in the virtual teen activities and only likes, but the idea is that you put something. Okay. So I have 1 item, 6 views. So 6 people maybe check this. Okay, so you are going to use this section. Maybe it's necessary that you include, this is only reacted. But the idea is not only that you reacted, the idea is that you put something. You are going to put about here. Oh my goodness, yeah. I am going to do again. Okay, only to let you know. Again, only invite, and in invite you copy the link. Anyone with access to the shareable link or code can join. So you are going to do this part? Ready. It's ready, definitely. Okay. Yeah, you can do with this. Yep. After at the end, I am going to go back and I check if you are doing something or not. Okay, so this is Waylet. All right. And the next section that I am going to consider also is create projects combining e-tools, okay? In some project that I make with my student, I use, for example, Waylet, Google Slides, and Flipgrid. The 3 together. And some students use Genially, some students use Canvas, and so on. How they did that? Okay, how they did that? When I enter to this part, all the time I have the product number 1. So I use my Google Slides with the product. And here in the product, I put everything, all the steps that they need to do. Okay, what is about the learning outcome and so on. Write a report about a country, identify and apply key elements to get a successful representation on Flipgrid. So you are going to give, okay, like examples, writing a skill, how do you write that? And then the students, by free, they choose the country that they prefer. Now I'll give you like the money birds, everything that they need to use. Okay, they work in groups. I put also the rubrics for assessment, okay? everything is here, and I put a wavelet. So I consider the wavelet, if you can see over there, the link of the wavelet, and here the student put over there. So I am going to show you how can I work with the student. In this presentation, the student have to do 3 different things: the report, the infography, and the flipgrid, the video. Okay, similar that I showed you before with Wavelet. Okay, I created a board, and my students, I have 52 items over there, upload their infography here. If you can see, I have different infography of different people over there. If you can put a check over there, you can see that there is, for example, about France or infography. And I always work in teams, okay? The objective is to work in teams. For example, in this product number 1, they were 3 students with 3 different roles, and they are defined. Yes, yes, obviously, Katia, yes. This is about Italy. Everything is there. So everything, all the mention are here. What are they doing? If they don't prefer about here, they are going to use anything that they want. Sometimes they put a photo, sometimes they use Genially, they use Canvas, they use anything that they consider important. It's free, because I tell the student, okay, you are free. Try to do everything that you want. But the student put infography and so on. With the members, yeah. So this is something that I encourage you that you create with the student. This is recently, I did last week. No, so if you can see, all the student work, and they love doing that. They love doing this kind. For example, this group, they use Genially. So I always encourage my students. You can do better than me. Come on, let's do it. Try to use anything that you like. I'm going to show you how can you do that. And they show me if I'm going to do about this. Yes, Genially. Okay? So this is the idea. Try different tools little by little, and you encourage a student to do that. Yes, Sonia, definitely. This is an infography, and the student use this infography in their oral presentations, and also, okay, when they are in the breakout rooms, speaking, a lot of activities. And I have also, yeah, for the next student, I have evidence how they can work, because the next student in the next semester, they are working better. Okay, so yeah, as you know, everything is ready. And this is private, only with the student, okay, with an invitation, and I put an invitation code. As I told you, I have some boards that are public, and there are some boards that I have private. But after, I am going to put public, don't worry about that, okay? So this is another thing, all right? And also, I combine with Flipgrid. So the student developed reading, because they have to do the research, writing, because they have to write the report, and the Flipgrid. In the Google slide, I am going to show you that I have the template. So everything I have here organized, and the student have the template. This is like the template that they are going to do. Brazil, something like that. So first of all, they are doing here. And then they are going to complete this template on Canvas. They are going to improve the template. Now, for example, I always put very good, like feedback, consider more fat, try to write less words, and so on. And they are working here during the class. For example, in 1 week that I have free classes with them, 20 minutes or 30 minutes with this and that. This is depends how can you manage. But this is the idea that they are going to do. They have some evidence here, and they feel more prepared. Okay, so this is a report, and this is here. This is the Flipgrid. I use my Flipgrid with the student. Okay, I have here, and I have different groups. All right, with the different groups, I have different responses, and I enter. Okay, for example, to them, to any that they prefer. Okay, and they are doing. As you can see, there are different people who are doing over there, and this is recently. okay, that they are creating different things over there, and they are going to have a look, no? And then you know about here, the members of the team and so on. You don't have about here, and this different here. Okay, so this is the idea that you are going to have with the student. I don't know.
Good morning, teacher and classmates. My name is Carla San Miguel, and today I'm talking about the introduction and population of Brazil.
And this is
Brazil is one of the biggest countries
so the idea when you work,
the idea,
the idea when you work in teams is that every members appear, not only one, because you can say, okay, no, only one student. No, yes, you are going to do like a classroom.
It was one of
this is another student.
To my partner,
and this is another one. Okay, so the idea is that all the members of the team work all together.
If the answer,
no, thank you. So easy, simple, you have an evidence, yeah, and they love, this is recently something that I created with them, and they enjoy it a lot because they love, okay, checking, doing different actions and so on. So this is the way that I work, and I integrate different things here, okay? And they are free to create everything that they prefer. All right, I'm going to do about this section that you are going to see, no? And all the time when I use Flipgrid, I put like a game, okay? Also in the instructions, it's not talk about a country. No, it's not like this, no? I put, let's play the classic game, My Dream Planes in Teams. As a way to get to know your place. In 5 minutes or less, also I give the possibility, if there is a group of 3, I tell you 5 or less, it's okay. So if this is 3, 4, 4.5, it's okay for you, okay? It's not like 10 minutes and it's only 10 minutes. No, it's like this. Tell us at least an important thing about this, greet and welcome the audience, say what a place you describe, thanks the audience and finish the talk, play around, blah, 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 blah. So with all of this, I think so. You can listen to me. I don't know.
Yeah, the audio is good for me.
Oh yeah, okay. Thank you for telling me. So I have like different things over there, over here, okay? So this is the project that I encourage you to do it. No?
Good morning, teacher. We are the group number 2, and today
no?
we are talking about Germany.
And this is the idea that they work. How can they work?
Germany is Berlin.
Everybody participate here.
For sure.
Okay.
Most influential in the
and
world.
this is important.
This country has a tradition,
financial market economy,
and you can take some picture in each part that dance in Germany.
and you can eat a lot of famous dishes in the present.
Conclusion.
Our recommendation if you visit Germany is try not to drink too much beer. Thank you.
I like this recommendation. Try not to drink too much beer. Okay, something like that. Lucia. All right, this is the first webinar, Lucila, all right? This is about virtual team activities, okay? So this is a section for you. I think that you enjoy that, all right? Oops. That you enjoy this kind of activities. And here, there are some tips that I always do with the students. Please, it's important to mind your student level and interest. What about this basic, intermediate, advanced business English? Because it's important to know the level of the students. And also in the breakout room, not all the groups are the same, okay? Show a student how the app can look like, okay? Also in the presentation, try to teach them the way that you want the things, okay? Like the body movement, pronunciation, body language, and so on. Provide a student with word and language bank are important. As you can see, this is in the Google slide. In the Google slide, I put the language land that they are going to use, the template, okay? So it's important that the student know that in advance, okay? So I put, you go to my Pinterest to do that. I put, try to do the infography with different organizers. I included this, the Waylet. You go to the link to the Waylet. And I always put, okay, you go only click here and you go to the Flipgrid. And in this part, I am very clear. Use your institutional email, blah, 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 enter to this is the code. So that they don't tell me, Miss, can I forgot? Miss, I am sorry. Miss, give me again, and so on. Okay? Everything is in only one place. Is in only one place. Okay, as a student, the common question over there. Feedback is so crucial and important because you have rubrics and encourage a student to ask and the partners and share. Share your ideas. They love if they have the opportunity to share with the work. Because I always motivate my student. Okay, your works are not only for English free groups. It's not only for you. It's for around the world. Okay, all around the world. So try to do your best, please. Come on, you can do it. Always praise a student is important, all right? It's important with them. That's it, they are about the tips here. And to reflect, that is section is, we must let to love, we have to permanently update us. Thank you very much for staying here, because today you learned some new tools. Maybe you refresh, you have more ideas, okay? Facilitating collaboration at a distance is so crucial, and this is by Dalshene in her book. And please allow your student to work in breakout rooms with specific roles, okay? So don't forget, team is together, everyone achieve more. Together, everyone achieve more. Share everything that you learn. Work in collaboration, all right? These are all the social networks that I have. You only click here and you enter to all the social network that I have, to the Twitter, to my Pinterest. If you want extra activities, all of them are free, okay? All of them are free for you, except something that I work with the students. So at the end of the semester, I put, yeah, for everybody, like the public, but I put, so the idea is that you use everything so the student familiarize, okay? And then I put my Waylet here, my Gmail, very, very specific that they don't understand. And I encourage, if you want to go to different workshops, I'm in chair of IATEFL Peru LTC, okay, that you can enjoy. And this is this Facebook group that I am going to put here, just in case if you prefer. So this is everything for me. All right, I am going to put that in the chat box. I think that I have over there. Thank you, Ria. Thank you, everybody. I am going to put about this section. Thank you, and it's 7:11. So if you have any question, any doubts, please tell me. Okay.
Yes, so if you want to ask or you have any question for Olenka, just go ahead and ask her. Yes, if you want me to activate your microphone, just raise your Zoom hand and I will activate it. Well, they are saying that it was an awesome presentation. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you. Thanks a lot to everyone who came to my presentation. I usually do different things. I'm going to add different things in every presentation. So I love doing that. Okay, and please share with your colleague. Share with your colleague. All right, this is the idea that you share with the colleague. This is the link of the presentation, yeah, over there. This is in Genially. Everything is there. All the my presentation is there. Yeah, I put in the chat box, is there.
Okay.
Okay, that you view and you have questions, doubts, anything about these tools, any tools that you consider important, anything. And at the end, you are going to put what about the takeaway You have homework for this weekend. Yes, definitely. Similar to our student, this is the homework for you that you are going to review, that you check anything that you prefer. All right, so Maruela Castro is submitting. Celia, what is the next step?
So Susana is asking if it is possible to share the remote control of students in Google Meet, I guess. Do you know if Google Meet has a similar like option?
I don't know if the remote control happen in the Google Meet.
No, right? Yeah,
But maybe if you are going to write in my email, I am going to search for you. My phone number, Alicia. You are going to send me anything. Yeah, you are going to put in the Instagram, try to send me a message or in Twitter and anything. You are going to mention everything. And this is here. Everything is there. You only over there and the presentation and everything is there. I have here, my photos, we are going to share about photos. All the photos are here. All the presentation are here. All the presentation, gamification, everything is there. No, I don't know. Rosaura said the remote control doesn't work. Thank you, Rosaura. Thank you for telling me. I don't know because I use Zoom and I use Google Meet, but I have never used the remote control. But just in case, I am going to check. What is your question, Oriel? Could you please tell me again? What is your question? What is Oriel's question?
Here is in Genially, when you show your presentation, do you share the link as well, or just when students need to do a project? Let me type it here again.
Okay.
Okay. There is a question. It's about Genially.
Is the link only? Is the link Genially when you show your presentation, do you share the link as well, or as your student need to do? In this presentation, this I did. But the student also, I encourage the student to do it. This, if you refer to do this part, this I created this presentation. But the student, I always create like a sample, and then I encourage my student to do like to improve that. Is it possible to link Flipgrid in the classroom? Yes, the link. I think so. But Flipgrid work more with Microsoft and with an Nearpod. But also this project. What is a tool to have a student perform presentation or project like your sample? What is the tool to have a student? This is Genially. This presentation or the Wavelet? This kind of presentation or the Wavelet, you tell me? Genially.
And
no,
the other tool is?
The Genially, the student, is free. As I mentioned before, okay, in the Wavelet, some student created their infography in Wavelet. In Genially, you can create not only presentation, you can create games. I have my presentation of gamification with your institution last January. Yes, you can create infographies, presentation, you can create different things, gamification, guides. Okay, in the chat box I have, Wavelet, yes. What tool did you use to add question to the video? ICT, collection, or in Genially, you only put a link and you are going to put a video, but if you want to create like example or exercises included in the video, I use ISL Collective. I think that is here. ISL Collective. Yes, this is that. Okay, another question, if you want to do about this part. Yes, to add question to the video, ISL Collective, you are going to do. But there are different tools that you are going to use, different tools. Okay, anything else? Anything else that you're here? Oh, I have a lot of participants today, no? 111.
Yeah, we made it viral.
And it was very quickly. Are you going to make another presentation step by? I always give presentation. I always give presentation, but all the presentations are different. Okay, this is more included about virtual team and how can I work in teams. There are something for isolated, there is something for blended, there is another for virtual reality, there is only one for the Google, okay, with the Google tools, plenty of them. So this is depends. Here on my Instagram, yeah, you have something that I did, and this is the gamification that I did with this group, and you are going to have about here. No? I put always I put some photos about this section. The summer workshop was this, no, in Neta, that I always remember about this park. I have some of them, and also all the links are there, and I always put the links in the chat box. Okay, thanks for sharing. Thank you, Arturo. Okay. Okay, let's try to take a photo because Glenda is coming at 8, I think so. Celia?
Yeah, at 8 we have Glenda.
Does anybody want anything or something? Until what time I have Celia?
Well, we're going to be waiting here till 8. So I don't know if you want to share something or.
Do you want to do something? Yes, Glenda is coming at 8. Yeah, all right. So please try to continue with Glenda because she's a very good speaker. Also my colleague, she was my colleague at UCL and she's one of my best friends. As the majority of you, because I have a lot of people from San Ignacio de Loyola, UPC, different institutions, and also in Trujillo because I am from the National University of Trujillo and so on. So please, we are going to take a photo. Is it possible for you? If you want, try to turn your cameras on. If you prefer not, so this is depends of you, comment. Because if this is your photo, I am going to put in all the social network, on my Facebook, on the Instagram, on the LinkedIn, and everything, your photo with this, because all the time I do that. Hi, Anesita, hello, Rocio, Sonia, Ramona, Oriel. So this is the reason that I always do with my students. At the end, like 3 minutes, okay, come on, turn your cameras on. They know, so if they are with their pajamas or something, they know that the 5 minutes before finishing everything, that they are going to take a photo or something. Okay, so thank you very much. Thank you very much, Maure, Rosemary, Jorge, Lasmia, Susana, Sonia, Rocio, Ramona, Janesita, Oriel, Daniel, Janet, Olenka, me, Celia, Rosales, there, Erika, Badali, Flor, Monica, Carlita, Sonia, and everybody. Let me take about here one photo about here, okay? One, you are going to put a reaction if you prefer. I'm going to put from the bottom of my heart. Hi, Erika. Hello. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And I always encourage my students also. Let me share about here. I'm going to have about here. Let me do about here because I don't know about here. It doesn't work, but let me check. Oops, 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 oops. Give me a second, give me a second. Everything is possible to happen. Sometimes I have here, the problem is that I open everything. So maybe I am going to enter my WhatsApp group or something like that. To put in my WhatsApp, yeah, this is plan B because plan A is I put in my work. And plan B is I enter to my WhatsApp group, and in my WhatsApp group, I am going to share to my father or some member of my family, and I'm going to put a photo there and they don't know, or maybe the page or something like that. I am going to close, yeah, everything, yeah, as usual. Or please, if you have any questions, something that you need, let me know. I am closing because I have a lot of things together. And I think that I have here. Okay. Let's have a look. In only 1 hour that I was here, 1 hour and 30, I have a lot of, this is here. Maybe it's a good idea to give another one. Okay, can you show us how to use Flipgrid? Yes, if you want. Have you got time? Okay, I'm going to show you. The first thing that you need for the Flipgrid is one account. Yeah. Give me a second. Yeah. I'm going to show you here. Okay. So, okay, give me a second to enter to this section over there. Would you prefer from 0? So the first thing that you have to do is enter to the Flipgrid, yeah, .com, and then you can create an account. Okay, this is something that you have. You have to educator sign up. So you go to this section, educator sign up. You enter to this part. Okay. Ayan, admite, ya there are more. This is the reason. In the chat box. Thank you, Carlita. Thank you. And here, well, I enter because I have here. I have all the groups, yeah, that I have, you know, from different reasons that I created. Since English 1 is possible to use this over there. What do you have to do? When you created your account or something like that, you create a group. You create a group here and you are going to change your image and you are going to put anything, maybe about people or anything that you prefer or that you consider. Let me take it out here, the books or whatever that you prefer. And you are going to put the name. In this case, for example, virtual teams. So you are going to put virtual teams over there. And this is the group. And you are going to put, is this is active or hidden? I'm going to put active. And then I am going to put permission. In the permission, you can link this, the Flipgrid, with the Google Classroom. If you use the Google Classroom, immediately you go to this. Or if you want, you go to the student email or student username. Okay, anything that you consider. If you prefer also, you are going to receive notification or no notification for others or so on. With my students, I use emails. Yeah, this is with my student, but it depends on you. Okay, if you prefer, you are going to use over there. So, like my student joined using a Microsoft or Google email. My student have Outlook, have Microsoft. So the only thing that I put with my student is at school.edu. So the only thing that I put is at ucil.pe and I create a group. So this is depends. Maybe you have the Google Classroom, try to go to the Google Classroom. Or maybe you have a group of 3 students, individual or something like that, only with the student username and you create. So you create a group over there, easy, and yeah, the group is ready. That's it. The only thing that you have to do is try to give this link to the student. So when the student join, okay, I have a copy and I give the student. So the next time that the student enter, I put flipgrid.com, okay, and I put a code or the student enter with this information. I have this Flipgrid and the student enter to this information. Yeah. And this is something that you create. The student, for example, the virtual teams, you are going to enter with Google, with Microsoft. It depends on you. With institutional student, I use Microsoft. No, I have my personal account, login successfully, and I enter to this. I enter like a student right now. No, how do you pronounce your name? That's it. And then you have to record a response if you want. But sometimes my students upload their video there. In Flipgrid, you have the possibility, you have different possibilities to do the video this, or you are going to create. And sometimes they import the video. And that's it. This is the only thing that they have to do. Okay, with the Flipgrid. All right, in the chat box. Okay, Olenka and Glenda. Okay, thank you, Roxana. Thank you. Thank you. That's it. All right. So everything is, I think, with me, and it's 7:30. I think it's enough.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Olenka.
I try to enter again. So thank you very much to everybody. Thank you for coming here. Please share the ideas with the rest. Yeah, this is the idea. Try to share the ideas with everybody. Thank you. I couldn't take my photo, but thank you very much. Okay. So I am going to leave, and I am Celia. You are going to stay here until the 8th.
Olenka?
Yes, there is Miss Roxana.
Olenka, thank you very much. Your presentation was superb. All the teachers are very happy because they have learned or refreshed a lot. Thanks a lot from Neta Peru Tech, okay? We know that you are there. You are always there for Neta Peru Tech and for all the teachers around the world. You are spectacular, dear Olenka. Congratulations. Thank you. So we are gonna wait or we are gonna have a fast dinner in order to continue with Miss Glenda Custodio. She will be with us at 8 p.m. So let's have a break.
Sure. If you want to leave the room, you can leave and use the same link to enter again. Yes, I'm going to be here with the room open. If you want to stay connected, just stay connected because at 8 we have Miss Glenda Gallardo with collaborative learning in the virtual learning environment. Yes, so
yeah, good topic.
It's another amazing topic.
Yeah, thank you, Olenka. So let's wait for Glenda to 8 o'clock. Thanks a lot.
Okay, so see you at 8 p.m. See you all at 8 p.m.
Yes, 8 p.m.
And thanks a lot.
Yes, Teresita, yes. Bye, take care. Bye.
Take care. we are going to continue.
Hello. Good
Hi,
evening.
Glenda,
Good
nice
evening,
to meet you.
everybody. Hello. Okay. Yes, here I am.
Nice. So it's time to continue with the next presentation. Yes. Hi, Rosa, Maria Emilia. Yeah, and the people are joining the meeting again. So now we're going to continue with teacher Glenda Gallardo. Yes, so let me tell you some information about Miss Glenda. She has been a teacher for 22 years and currently she works at Universidad de Lima and Universidad Peruana de Ciencias Aplicadas, where she has been teaching fully online courses for 6 years. Glenda holds the CPE and the TKT. She has a language teaching degree and has finished her master's TEFL studies at Funiver. Her research interests focus on teacher training, autonomous learning, IT, and educational coaching. So again, please, virtual applauses for Miss Glenda, who is going to share some interesting ideas with us tonight. Yes. So yeah, so Glenda, whenever you're ready, you can activate your microphone and...
Yes, I've just noticed that it was not active.
Yeah.
Sometimes it happens, you're speaking and then you realize that you hadn't activated the microphone or you muted yourself for some reason. Yes, well, welcome everybody. Yes, my name is Glenda Gallardo. And as Celia mentioned, I am a university teacher, but before being a university teacher, I was also a school teacher. I worked for the public education system for 10 years. So I also worked with teenagers, both in public and in private schools. So I also have experience teaching in both contexts. Yes, and well, first of all, I would like to know a little bit about the audience, right? So welcome again. Can you please introduce yourself in the chat box and tell me your name, where you are from, or where you are right now, and a little bit about, can you see your teaching experience? A typo. Okay, let me correct that. I can see that mistake there. So something about yourself, right? I would like to know about you so that I can also perhaps direct my presentation in a sense that is also helpful for you, right? So the name of my presentation is Collaborative Learning in a Virtual Learning Environment. As Celia well said, yes, I've been teaching online for 6 years. So this is it's not completely new to me. So I have been using platforms and I've been like involved in English language teaching for a number of years. Let me see, what do I have in the chat box? Hello, Glenda, Oriel de la Vega, Oriel Puente de la Vega. Hello, Oriel, how are you? Rosana Maria Ceballos, hello. Yes, very good. So I've worked everywhere. I mean, I worked at language schools, I worked at schools, and hello from Ecuador. Oh, hello, Sonia. And I see also, yes, Susan from Lima. Yes, okay, very good. And people from Ecuador. Okay, so now that's my background. Yes, so that the things that I'm going to present are related to what I do. Yes, and teaching with university students. And now Olenka, yes, you've been to her presentation. She talked about also virtual learning activities. And my presentation is also connected to that, but it's more about the collaboration part. So my agenda will go through analyzing why collaboration is important And then I'll share with you some activities also, how I enforce and try to foster, no, not enforce, I foster collaboration in my class. So now, first of all, in order to apply, in order to believe in collaboration in our contexts, we need to ask ourselves, how are our 21st century students different from the 20th century students? Yes, so can you please tell me in the chat box? Very good. I have many people from Ecuador. I think that's very nice. That's one of the good things about the pandemic, right? The possibility of, connecting with people from all over the world. I'm very happy to see people from different parts of the world. So in the chat box, what would be your answer to this question? And now, when we ask our students, it's also important to give them time. Yes, we cannot expect them to answer just at the speed of light. So please take a couple of minutes to write something in the chat box, please. There is 1 minute left. Yes, in the chat box, how our 21st century students different from the 20th century students? Yes, 2 minutes. Yes, so very good. I see that many of you say good evening, Ulises. How are you? Yes, Ulises is from Huancabamba. Very good. And Michelle, yes, 21st century students tend to be more active and involved in their learning, whereas the 20th century students used to be more passive. Another main difference is the use of technology. Very good. Thank you, Michelle, for that. And also Sonia says technology. Yes, and they don't improve their creativity. And I have Janet says they are more able to use the technology constantly and use the cell phone. Yes, so technology is basically one of the main differences. And so we need, that's why it's something that it existed, but we kind of neglected, right? And we, okay, there is this exists, but we didn't take that into consideration a lot until the pandemic, right? The pandemic has forced everybody. It doesn't matter if you want to do that today or tomorrow, it's now, everyone now, all the world, right? So yes, technology is one of the main differences. So now, how different is the world? Yes, technology has changed, and because of this, maybe this has a relationship with the jobs. Can you think of jobs that didn't exist 10 years ago? Yes, we are again having the context. So in the chat box, what jobs are new? Thank you for those answers. Wonderful. Hello from Chile, Marlene. What about the jobs? Can you think what jobs did not exist? And now universities, if we think about, for example, very good, Veronica, community manager. Yes, so 10 years ago, I mean, who would have thought about this job? What is that? What is community manager, right? So this is something that is recent. And then any other job that you think that did not exist and now we have? Yes, I'm asking you this, YouTuber. Thank you, Rocio. Hello, Rocio. I think I know you, Rocio Reyes. Yes, influencer, TikToker, program, system engineer. Yes, TikTokers. Very good. There are many. Look, I have some here. Social media influencer, cloud architect, telemedicine physician, Uber driver, TikTok marketer, as you said, drone operator, drivers, cars engineers, online dating profile writers. Yes, professional hackers, online teachers. Exactly. Very nice. Yes. Yes. I mean, it was like maybe it was like something people didn't do. I mean, and now we all have become online teachers all of a sudden. So yes, and that's so you see this is changing, right? So this is changing a lot, and sometimes universities don't know how to cope with this. How can they cope with this? This is going to change. We don't know what else is going to appear in a couple of years, or I don't know, maybe tomorrow there are more jobs, design thinking, exactly. So the world is changing, everything is changing, and it will continue changing. It will, and we can't just stop, and especially if we are teachers, we can't stop learning. Yes, we can't. So, and what about our students? My students are at university. Many of them, they are about to graduate. What about your children? Think about your children or your students. What will happen in the future? What new jobs? What courses will they have at university that we didn't know, that we hadn't thought of, and then they will be offered at university? So how? That's the big question. How can we help our learners? How can we help our children? Yes, with these changes, to cope with these changes. Yes. So that's a big question that I'm sure that you also have. Yes. So in order to answer this question, that's why I am a supporter of collaboration. Yes. Oh my God. Let me see. What have I clicked? All right. So collaboration. So why is collaboration important? Do you think it is important? Hmm? Yes, of course, it is important, but how? Why is this important? It is important. Okay, you agree with me? Yes. All right. Yes, and not only, I mean, it's not only you who agree with this. There are many authors that agree with this, and there are many studies. Yes, for example, here this was a study in 2013 before the pandemic, and this was one of the results. And we have here, we need more and better skilled graduates entering the workforce. to accommodate a fast-moving global economy. We need 21st century skills, yet they are not getting them in school. Now, maybe this has changed. It is changing, I think, right? So how are we preparing our students for those changes? How are we helping them? How are we contributing to their future? Yes. It's really important, says Erika Diaz. Yes, important because allows the students to interact with each other and work for the same purpose to complete the tasks. I agree with that, Erika. And Sonia says, because you can have an idea about how your students are learning. Yes, definitely. So collaboration is absolutely important. Yes, and that is one of the skills that we need to develop in our classes. And you must have heard and perhaps read this before, the 4 C's. Collaboration is one of the 4 C's. And this has been, written in books, and many people have always talked about this, but I think now with the pandemic, it has become more relevant. And now with the changes that you have just told me, the new jobs that are appearing, all these things, and the technology that is like the pace of technology, and it just doesn't stop, and it won't stop. So how can we help our students? The machines will always do things that I find like more mechanical, right? I can ask my students to click here, click there, find an answer, but is that going to help them once they finish school? Is that going to be useful once they start work and they have left university? So how can I help my students work and adapt to the changes that are coming? Yes, and that's why collaboration is one of the important C's, one of the important C's in education. So we have collaboration, communication, critical thinking, and creativity. So, but my purpose today is to tell you about collaboration. Yes. So students, okay, Michelle says here, students can build relationships among them, of course. So there are many benefits to collaboration. Yes. And this is a skill that we need to learn. Sometimes teachers, not even ourselves, know how to collaborate, because maybe when we were students, we didn't do that. And we only worked on our own. Yes, this is your homework, you go home, you do it. And from time to time, maybe a group activity. Yes, and normally in the class, you complete things in a book, in your book. You complete things in a worksheet, your worksheet. So it's like sometimes we don't know because we didn't do that before, because in our schools, in our contexts, we were not taught to do this or to work in this way. However, the time has come. So it's the moment to learn, because teachers also need to learn this. Yes, because it's not just something that we are born with. We learn to do this. We learn this with our peers, and we need to develop this. So collaboration, it's a key. Yes, it's a key competency. It's part of the 4 C's, and it's a social skill. Now, having said this, look, as I said, this is not new. Yes, as Benjamin Franklin once said, tell me, yes, tell me and I forget, teach me and I may remember, involve me and I learn. Yes, so this is, I also see the connection here with collaboration. I need to involve my students. I need to create the space for them to work with other people. And also that is something that we can learn at school, at university. Yes, so it's a very good place to foster this. And not only Benjamin Franklin, I mean, many people talk about collaboration and why this is important. It's interesting, the students can help themselves and work together online. Yes, Ulises. So they can build relationships among, of course, yes, and that's, hello, Rosario. Yes, so it's very important. We cannot forget about this time in class. We need to offer our students this time to work together and collaborate with their peers. Yes, and it's also possible with technology. If it was possible with face-to-face, it is also possible with technology. So as this is Helen Keller, yes, it's an American, well, she was an activist. I don't know if you have heard of her, a very loved character in the US. She was blind, but she learned to read, she learned to write, she went to university, and she's an example of how we can overcome difficulties. Yes. Thank you, Sonia. So they can combine the skills in their final product for homework, for videos. She was born deaf and blind. She was not born deaf and blind, but she had a fever, and now there's, well, in her days there was not certainty what exactly it was, but she had fever. At the age of 3, more or less, is where she lost her ability to hear and her sight because of that fever. Yes, and okay, so she says, alone we can do so little, but together we can do so much. And like her, there are many people that talk about collaboration and why this is important. Look, for example, Samantha Becker also, she says, so why is it important to collaborate? Why is it so important right now? Because collaboration has become an extremely sought after skill with digital age implications. Not only must people work well with others, but they also must do it in spite of physical distance and in time restrictions. Yes, so now we are in a virtual learning environment, and I don't know you, I don't see my students. I only see sometimes a black screen. Yes, a black screen, and only the names. And so maybe some things are disappearing, but still we need to do something to have this rapport with our students, to connect with them. And that's why I feel that, well, I guess you are doing that. If not, always have your webcam on. Yes, you are the teacher. They need to see you. They need to establish some contact with you. And when I talk to my students, or if I talk to you, I look at the camera. Yes, I'm looking at you right now. Yes, so we need to keep that going, right? Technology, it's very helpful, but sometimes some things are like, maybe, I don't know, maybe we are forgetting these things. And what about, I don't know what will happen when we go back to face, this eye contact, how will we remember how to interact? Yes, so we need to keep that interaction. Yes, and we are not physically together, but still through the webcam, yes, we can at least see, I mean, that the students need to see that we are here, we exist, right? And as Olenka said, sometimes maybe you cannot like make it mandatory that they have their webcams on unless it's a policy at the place where you work. But maybe little by little gain them by suggesting that they say hello to you at the beginning, and then they can turn their webcams on, or maybe at the end of the session to do something very brief. And then, but this is practice. You have to be consistent until they get to do that, right? I work at 2 different places, and in one of them, for example, it is compulsory to have the webcams on, and my students know that, and they do that because they know it's part of the grading that they have their webcams on. But on the other place, it's not compulsory. So many of them, out of 10, 9 out of 10 choose to turn their webcams off. But I always ask them questions and always looking at them, and I always read their comments, and I encourage them to participate in the chat box. And I always read what they write in the chat box, as I'm doing with you. That's why it's important to know what our students might find appealing. Very good, Les Bermudez. Very good. Of course, they work together and discover different abilities, writing, listening, speaking. Yes, of course. Sometimes people, some people are like a bit reluctant with technology, and maybe they want to, they say, maybe, I don't know, I sometimes think that, these people think that then we're going to go back to face, and this is going to disappear, and then we just delete and we forget about this. No way. This is going to stay here forever, and we need to just to learn to feel comfortable with these tools, right? And keep doing our best. We are doing our best already, but keep doing our best to help these future generations. And also, I mean, it's something that we can. I mean, it's a win-win, because they learn and also you learn as you are exploring new tools, as you are giving them the chance to communicate, to collaborate. You also see what is working, what is not working, so you keep improving. Yes, so we need to try new things. Now, why is collaborative learning in an educational context important? Yes, I think we have answered that question already. Now look at this. This is an idiom, and I don't know if you have an idea. Can you tell me in the chat box? This picture, what do you think is trying to say? If I have two people here, and can you think of a phrase that describes this? It's about two something, and it's a quote that I have heard a lot, and sometimes I mention this as well. Two something is about sharing. So two, exchanging some information. Yes, exchanging. So to what? To, if I have my ideas, you have your ideas, they are building new knowledge. Very good. Thank you, Luis. And Janet says exchanging some information. And I have two heads are better. Yes, very good. Yes. Bingo, Michelle. That's it. Two heads are better than one. That's an English proverb. Yes, so that's why also, I mean, collaboration is like, it's, I mean, something that it's like sometimes take for granted. But yeah, when you are together, yes, you have, I mean, by listening to another person, by working with someone else, we can learn more, we can think of something else, see the situation from a different angle. So it's very positive, very positive. Then, very good, Michelle, you guessed. Okay, so, and this also, this collaboration is supported by many authors. You must remember Vygotsky, yes, with the father of social learning. And he always said this, that learning is social in nature. So how can we not have this moment in class for our students to work together, to socialize? That's not natural. Learning is a social activity. It's social in nature. Yes. And as he said also, we need to assess not just knowledge acquisition, but rather our students' ability to solve problems. Yes. So it's not just click this answer, choose, multiple choice, choose. We need to develop other things. And that happens within collaboration. When students are collaborating, they are not only learning English. English is like a medium to achieve another thing, but they are learning to listen, aren't they? They are learning to, what else? Can you think of other advantages? What else can students benefit from collaborating? learn from each other. Yes, Juan Carlos. They learn from each other. And what else? I always have a glass of water next to me. They don't feel, yes, it's a break from the teacher. I mean, sometimes the teacher talking time is very high because we are like in front of them and we talk and talk. But it's not, teaching is not about the teacher. Teacher is about the students. Yes, I know English. It's them who need to learn English. It's them who need to have more time to practice it, because that's how they learn. So we can create a good product if we work together. As yes, that's it. They can learn and help from each other, definitely. And well, look, I have some ideas here. So also, students, so some of the positive things about collaborative learning is that there is peer learning. Yes, because they can teach each other. It fosters critical thinking. It enhances problem solving, improves communication skills, and improves cultural awareness. And there are many, many, many more benefits. And this takes time. Yes, it's not that I just give the activity and I send them to breakout rooms and there they go. This needs time, consistency, and you need to do it frequently. And you need to teach the students how they can collaborate, how the activity is gonna be developed, what they are supposed to do. Yes, and that's our role, to make sure that they get used to doing this, right? And that they find it beneficial, because it is beneficial. Now, in this book, yes, I love this book by Sophia Mabridi, she also mentions that collaboration is a celebration of diversity. Yes, because I mean, you don't know. Yes, Ulises says teacher is a facilitator so that the student feels confident and demonstrates a lot of their abilities. Absolutely, Ulises, I couldn't agree more. Yes, they can correct and help each other. Yes, if we give them the chance, they will. They will, but we need to give them this opportunity to collaborate. Can you expand on your screen? Yes, do you want me to expand it? Okay. Sometimes I do this just to be able to read the chat better. Yes, so collaboration is a celebration of diversity. That's by Sophia Mabridi. This is her book where she talks about, well, it's Daniel Cherry and Sophia Mabridi's book. And she says collaboration is a celebration of diversity. Yes, and it could be diversity in all the sense of the world, not only because of my social skills and your social skills, but also because of maybe if in your class you have students from another cities. So diversity. And that's something that we also need to teach our students. They are not going to be forever in Lima or only in Guayaquil. They will, in a moment in their lives, they will talk to other people from other places. They need to be respectful. They need to know or listen to other accents. So this should be an important thing to develop, because, I mean, where, if not in our homes or in a classroom, that we can develop this? Yes, this is Sophia Mabridi, and this is one of the things that she says that I completely agree with. And she says the ability to collaborate in digital environments is also an important digital literacy that students will need in the real world. So by setting up online collaborative projects, you are actually preparing them for what they are likely to encounter in real life. And this is what I'm aiming at in my classes, and preparing my students for real life. They are not gonna work on their own, only completing exercises by themselves. They need to learn to work together. They need to listen. They need to help each other. They need to listen to other opinions. They need to feel comfortable working with others, yes, and developing ideas, solving problems. So, so collaborative learning is a learned process, and we need to give our students time for this. So how can we do this? There are many ways to do this. And maybe one of the easiest ways that comes to my mind comes with team and group work, right? So I don't know how long your classes are. I teach, as I said, in 2 different places. In one of them, the classes are just 50 minutes long. And definitely, yes, definitely, Sonia. And in the other place, I have a 2-hour class. Yes, so I have more time in the other place. But still, even if I had an hour of class or 2 hours of class, we can do something to offer our students this time to collaborate. But of course, this doesn't happen just like, okay, hello, good morning, and then jump to the breakout room and collaborate. That's not the way, of course. We need, this can come, it depends how you plan it, because you need to plan the class and when this is gonna fit. Is it gonna fit after watching a video, after what? Because there has to be a connection, right? And this works very well if there were previous activities that motivate them, that gave them food for thought to keep working on that, right? So this is teamwork and group work. Now for this, look, Olenka mentioned this. I'm sure you are using Google Slides, and this is one of my favorite ways to make my students work in groups and in teams. Yes, and do you use Google Slides? Yes, there has to be a good facilitator. Do you use Google Slides, or I don't know? Are you familiar with this? Yes, do you? Sometimes, yes, of course, yes. By saying this, of course, this doesn't have to be every single class, but yes, from time to time, why not using the Google Slides? Yes, let me share my screen and show you my drive. Yes, I use this from time to time. Of course, I don't use this all the classes, but in a 3-week class, I use my Google Slides maybe twice a week, sometimes twice a week. Yes, for example, I have made my students work on crosswords, work on pronunciation. I have made them work in slides. I use these slides and I make them working in groups. Yes, and as you see, I create groups of 3 or maybe groups of 4, and then they have to, well, they work here on a topic, and the instructions, as Olenka mentioned before, have to be very clear. And of course, this came after having done this with me, right? So I use this a lot. There is interaction between the teacher and the students. Yes, of course. Can you give us an example of a group activity? Yes, for example, there are many activities. Let me see what I have here. This is English 6 or English 2. English, yes, English. In English, I have done lots of things. I have used this for videos, yes, to do some writing, yes, and for pronunciation. Yes, for example, the other day they were working on relative pronouns in this group. It's English 6, and in my class, for example, they were working on this relative clauses, and this was something that they confused a lot. Whose and whose, yes, the pronunciation. And so we worked on pronunciation, and then they were sent to work in breakout rooms. When they go to breakout rooms, I love seeing them work in Google Slides, because you see the names writing everyone simultaneously. And when they are in their mini groups, I mean, they have more, it's better, because if I have 28 students, if I have 30 students, I cannot be calling one by one. And then I'm wasting my time. The others are getting bored listening to one after another. So breakout rooms, you go to breakout rooms, I share the slide or the Word document, and then I visit them and I give them time to do this. For example, they were working here on the pronunciation of, because, well, these are homophones, whose and whose, and they had to recognize, for example, here, in the sentence, well, this is already answered, right? And these are the people who participated here, a group of 3, and they had to recognize if this was, read the sentence and write the correct words. This was incomplete. Now it is complete because they finished it, but this was incomplete, and they had to write what was better to complete the sentence, to write whose or to write whose, because when you listen to this, it's the same, right? But what did they need here? So they had to work together on what was the answer. And well, here before there was a space, but as you can see, because they have already done it, it's already complete. And so they do pronunciation. It has the same link to the Google slide for all the groups, or do we need to provide them with different links? In my case, I work with different links. Yes, let me see. I always do, I create when I prepare my class, I prepare a Word document. Let me show you how I prepare that. And then I just copy paste everything in the chat box. I tell my students, I always tell them, yeah, they are, by now, they are used to this, all right? So I always tell them, if it says room number 1, if you are room number 1, that means that you are group number 1. If it says room number 2, you are group number 2. Yes, and I always check with them that they know where they are. Let me see, relative clauses, students, relative clauses, embarrassing moments. Okay, let me see, what is this? Okay, so let me show you a recent one. Okay, yes, I'm trying to find my link. Okay, you will see this is my private folders. Okay, so you are with me here. Okay, let me show you better unit number 9, because I remember this one better, because this was done in April. And for example, here, for example, infinitive of purpose. Was this an example in pairs? Infinitive of purpose. No, it says here pair work. Let me see. If you are lucky, I will open. No, this is not. This is not. Yes, I create the links. Yes, I create different pages, and then I share that here. Can you see? Unit 9 video pair work links. So I create them in different sheets. Can you see? All this enormous, because I have a lot of students. I cannot have the time to listen to everybody. So I have in this class I have 23 students. So I made them work in pairs. So I created this, and then I just copy paste this in the chat box. Yes, so I copy paste this in the chat box, and then I tell them, okay, so room, if the invitation says room 1, so you are pair 1. This is your link. Open it. Yes, and if you're in room 2, it's because you are pair 2. Yes, and they have to click on the link that corresponds. Yes, this is when I work with Word documents. If I don't work with Word documents, I also work with slides. Yes, with Google Slides. I mean, with PowerPoint presentations. So, for example, writing a for and against. When did I do that? I don't remember. Pair work, task questions. Yes. So if it's another thing, I give them. They have worked everything. I mean, they've worked not only with Word documents, but I also work with Google Slides, with PowerPoint. Yes. So going back to my drive. Yeah. So this was about this. They have also worked. Okay, let me see. Unit numbers, English 6. So this is one of perhaps the easiest ways. I don't know. By now I am used to doing this, right? So here there was only one slide, as you can see, one slide, and I shared the link to one slide. I created lots of it. Well, not lots, but how many? 10, I think. Yes, I created this, and the same procedure. I tell them, if it says that you are group 1, it's because you are in room number 1. So you only choose this slide. If you are in number 2, so you choose this one. Okay. If it says room 3, it's because your slide is group 3, and they have to choose this one. And it's only one PDF. Yes, it's only one PDF. Oh, sorry, one PPT. And I only share with them the link, and then I copy paste the link. And of course, well, now it's closed because when you create this, you have to change this so that they can become editors. After I correct it, when the time finishes, I change it to reading mode. But when they complete it, I have to make sure that this is an editor. Yes, and so that I can complete it because now it's finished. Now I went back to lector mode on so that they cannot change any of the answers, right? And then I just share the link, right? So that's one of the things I've been using a lot. And okay, so that's one of the easiest things. Personally, that's how I see it, to make them work together. And I love, as I said, I really, really love seeing them writing, because you can see that the documents, all the papers, all the documents that are open are working, and you see people writing and their names and typing. So you see who is working, and if necessary, you can see who's not working, and then visit them and make sure that they are working or have no doubts. Okay, so let's go on. So that's one of the activities that I do, and that's why I love my Google Slides a lot. And apart from this, okay, so you can work in Google Slides. And I have a quote here. We are diamonds taking shape. Yes, as Coldplay says. So you just have to try it, right? Give it a go. Yes, because sometimes I say, but no, what happens if it goes wrong? Or maybe they are not gonna like it, or just try it. And then you will start feeling comfortable, and they will get used to working like this. So we are just taking shape, and they are taking shape, and we are with them. Yes, we are in this together. So now the second thing, I also well, you must have heard of breakout rooms a lot. When I send my students to breakout rooms, I send them, of course, also with an activity in mind. For example, as I said, I work everything. I use breakout rooms to work pronunciation. Yes, and this is very, very productive because they have to, like, for example, identify what was the sound, if it was like, in this case, ia or ea, and they work. You see the chat box, they are like trying to agree on what is the answer, and it's not me telling them the pronunciation is this, repeat after me. No, you try to discover. You have the link for the listening. Now you listen to this with your classmates, and you together classify if the pronunciation is this one and this one. Of course, you have to give them an example and model this and have this clear, and then now off you go. These are your words. Discuss how the words are pronounced, and then we come back and we check and give feedback to everybody, right? So I use breakout rooms for things such as pronunciation, and they work in pairs or in groups of 3. I usually recommend groups of 3 because sometimes one of them doesn't have a very good connection, and then if someone is, it's better to have 3 than 2. Yes, and maybe then one student is alone, so much better to have a group of 3, at least 3 people. Yes, saves the day. And if you know them very well, as I do my students by now, I know who can work well, who is always participating and joining. You can also pair them as you want to. Yes, look, I have my notebook, and well, I understand myself. Yes, I always change them. Yes, I rotate my students. Okay, who work with whom? Okay, now this person is gonna work with this one. This doesn't know this person. I try to make sure that by the end of the semester, they have worked with everyone, because it's also important that they know their peers. Yes, and I have my list, and I write, okay, this person has worked with this one, this week with this one, the following week you're gonna work with this one. I tried my best to make them know their peers, because if not, then when are they gonna meet them? Sometimes it's the same person, the same class. No, okay, I see, this has, I get a screenshot. Okay, this person has already worked with this one. Okay, so I wanna mix it and now make them work with a different student. So that because it's also important, I also love the idea that we need to have a community in the classes. When you work in an online environment, you need to make them feel they belong to a group. You need to make them feel that it's not that they are working on their own, isolated. No, there are people here, people that could be their friends, but they need to be given the time to know them. So that's why it's important to also make them collaborate. with different people, make changes so that they can work with different people and get to know who they are studying with. So, and look, this is another activity that I also like doing in my classrooms. Thanks for the idea. Okay, thank you, Erica, for that comment. For example, for vocabulary review, sometimes I also make my students go to breakout rooms and we revise vocabulary. Now, how do you think this activity works? Yes, they get a screenshot and then they go to their breakout rooms. And what do you think they do with this? Can you guess how? And here the objective is to revise vocabulary. Okay, let's see, there are some ideas in the chat box. Yes, they could write or create sentences. Yes, very good. Any other ideas? Yes, they can write sentences. They can create a story. Very good. They can create a story. Yes, they can make a story. They can draw. Yes, why not drawing? Yes, drawing is a very good thing to do to remember vocabulary. But not until now you haven't guessed how I use it. I could use it for writing. You have given me an idea. I haven't made them make a story with cards like this. I haven't made my students draw pictures. I use this for speaking. Yes, they can create a dialogue. Very good. You are giving me ideas. Thank you. Very good. They can draw a story. Yes, very good. But this is a vocabulary review. Yeah, they could do writing. Thank you. But I use this for speaking. And they work in groups or in pairs. And they take turns. Match two words. Hot, hot, hot. It's about the word. It's about identifying a word. Can you guess? I make them identify a word. So how is that? Riddles. Yes, very good, Fiorella Pardo. Yes, Fiorella. I use it for that. I make them guess the word. They can play spelling bee. Yes, yeah, they can play spelling bee. Yeah, why not? For kids. Yes, you see, my head is like thinking for my students who are aged 18 to 23 years old. But of course, you can adapt it. Yes, what I'm showing you here, again, I go back to my context. I'm teaching at university right now, so my students are 18 to 23. So that's how I make them work. So they go to the breakout room, they have these cards. It depends, could be less, could be more, and it depends on the time you have, because sometimes this is done at the end or the beginning as a gap filler. So they have these cards and they are supposed to work in pairs. Yes, I will describe a word. Yes, if I tell you it's a thing that you use when it's raining. Can you guess what it is? And you use it in winter, and Mary Poppins had one. And yes, very good, Michelle. Yes, I always clap my students. I'm clapping you. I'm clapping. Yes, thank you, Sonia, because I also want to share with you that that's very, very good. We have to acknowledge their efforts to give us an answer, right? Clapping is I feel very powerful. I always clap my students. They always tease me because I always clap, and my brother always teases me because he says, "Oh, you're clapping like what does he call me? He says like a foca," because I always clap my students. Very good, David. These charades. Yes, so I do this, and you can do it online. You just, in a slide, you put the words that you want them to that you want to revise. For example, all these words came from a lesson where my students were talking about inventions. Yes, they had been using the passive voice. Yes, they talked about these things. However, when I send my students to do this, it's not my focus is not on the accuracy. Hopefully, yes, they will go to the breakout room and they will remember maybe some ideas in the passive, but the important thing is that they speak, because we also need to give them the chance. We need to make them feel comfortable speaking English. So maybe they can say simple things, as I said. Yes, it's something that you use in the winter. Mary Poppins had one. So simple things. And if they use a passive, wow. So they are associating, oh, we did this vocabulary in class. So they could, but it's not like the rule is only use passive here. So this is free. And just to make them practice some speaking. And yes, you can do this. You can assign this to groups or pairs. So that's one of, and they are practicing their listening. They are practicing being patient, taking turns, and sometimes, I mean, this is sometimes taken for granted, but sometimes they don't know how to do this, right? So here they are practicing that without we telling them you are doing this, but they are. Okay, now apart from this, now going to collaboration. Yes, so those were many examples of collaboration that we can do on a regular basis and every day, maybe, or weekly. But then you can also go to something more, how would I call this? Maybe more challenging. Yes, and that is the group assignments and projects, right? And I work with my students and I make them make videos, for example. Here I have an activity that I designed for at the end of a course. This was yes, A2 English 2, and they had seen. They had studied with me the past simple, and they had seen the future. And before my course, they had already seen the present. So I made them have a conversation. They had to prepare a conversation about where they used what they saw in Unit 7, 8, 9, all the course book. Yes, so they could. The idea was that they try to recycle the vocabulary, the phrases that they had seen throughout the course. What questions? I don't know. The conversation, of course, you need to give them an example. Yes. Usually I have a class delegate, and with my class delegate is my guinea pig. So with my class delegate, I always like, okay, for example, my delegate right now is Omar. Okay, Omar, okay, I will be student A, you will be student B. We have to talk about the present, the past, the future. Okay, I'm gonna ask you, Omar, do you like watching TV? And then, okay, now ask me something about the past. So just a couple of things to give them an idea. You have to prepare a conversation, but how? So this is an example. You need to give them an example. And well, here I don't have all the instructions, but just the important bits. And here the thing that I had to do was to use the language. And if you saw the conversations they produced, of course, this is something that is not from one day to the other. At least they need to be given a week, because they need to coordinate. They need to see what questions they are going to make, when they are going to meet. Yes, and also look, there is a duration. Yes, so they have to prepare the questions in advance. Yes, and I always emphasize the fact that they need to try to speak naturally. That is not about reading, that they use things. I always make my students use things. If they are talking about, I don't know, your sister, the picture of your sister. If they are talking about technology, your mobile in your hand, showing that, okay, my mobile is this or that. Well, so as you see, this is not the complete, these are not all the instructions, but these are the important bits of the activity. And then they have to record themselves having that conversation. And they upload this to the platform. Yes, I'm very lucky because I have a platform where all the things, just everything is published there. And then from there, I correct their work. Yes, and that's also, I feel personally that is very helpful, because then my students don't need to go here for this, go there for the other thing. No, it's you make your video and then you post it here in the platform. And then my rubrics are active, and it's easier for me to correct everything in one place. Then this could be another assignment or a group project. Yes, imagine that it's the end of the semester. Work in pairs, in groups. Decide how to spend your budget in a meal for your class. Yes, so they have to, again, make a video about this. They have to present, okay, so if we are a group of 3, I will talk about the place, the day, the number of people, and the other person is going to tell me something about the menu, how they are going to spend it. So they need to plan how they are going to present this. So this could be for a project, right? And you must have heard of project-based learning. So they could also carry out, I don't know, an activity like this one. Yes, maybe they can produce a poster, produce a course book. Olenka also mentioned infographics. I also make my students produce infographics. And they are very, very creative, very creative. If you give them the chance, yes, you will see that they can do beautifully. They just are so creative. So they could have something like this. Maybe you can prepare, if your unit was about food and drink, maybe they can at the end have a cookbook with some recipes maybe, and it could be, I don't know, a digital cookbook. Yes, and Wakelet is a very good tool for that. I only use my Wakelet to upload my students' materials, for example. Then, so, and if we want to go further, right, and this is what I'm doing right now, we can encourage collaboration with other classes. And when I say other classes, not just, I mean, my colleagues or at my workplace. Yes, not only, thank you, Rosario, it's very interesting. Yes, they can play, games, groups, they can charades. Yes, but now my purpose here is to make them collaborate. Yes, because if they are playing, yes, they are having fun, and that is part of teamwork. But my concern here is, how do I make them develop these collaboration skills? So when they have to produce a course book, they need to develop, I mean, the critical thinking appears, the speaking, the listening, the coordination, the turn taking. So there are more than just answering things. It's I don't know. It's like it's like enhanced. Yes, it's a higher level, and that also goes with Bloom's taxonomy. We are in a higher part of the pyramid. Yes, higher than other activities. So I'm working on this right now, the collaboration with other classes. And for example, I have this friend, and her name is Ling, and Ling, she teaches in the US and also in Vietnam, because she's from Vietnam, but she lives in the USA. And she has this conversation class, a conversation club, sorry. It's a conversation club. And she meets every Monday. Yes, every Monday, 9 o'clock Peruvian time. And she uses this platform, and she has a Facebook group. I will share that in the chat. So my students are practicing with me in class. They have their classmates, but why not going a bit further and meeting other students, speaking in English with other people, exchanging ideas, practicing their listening comprehension, their cultural awareness. So this could be another step to follow. Yes, if you want to keep enforcing collaboration. So Ling has a Facebook group where she gives you all the instructions. This is for students, right? It's just for students. I'm sure there must be, if you are interested, also for teachers, but this is for students. So students gather in groups of 3, and then Lynn plans a topic. For example, this Monday, the topic, there is a video they have to watch, and there are some vocabulary and questions that they need to be ready to answer. And then they join the conversation. It's in theory, it's half an hour, but the students stay longer. Yes, because I don't know, I mean, they are people their same age, they are university students, but not only university students, also school students join this with their parents' consent, because also Lynn makes sure that the parents know that this is happening. And then they interact, and that's it. It's a very good way to, I mean, to go beyond the work we do in class, and that also prepares them for the world, because I'm sure that at one moment they will travel abroad, have a scholarship, or have the chance to meet other people. So why not preparing them? Listen, there is these people that think like this, that have this custom, that have this way of working, and open their minds. It's not just Lima, it's not only Cusco, it's not only how Guayaquil does things. Let's see how Vietnam works. I mean, how Vietnamese think, what they say, yes, and create this cultural awareness that I had mentioned before. So, and that's it. I'm finishing with this, and just to mention, this is something that I saw the other day in a webinar, and this is something that had appeared in another event, and it says here, embrace technology, but don't become it. Yes, this was said by Gerard Leonhardt in the TESOL 2021, and Sofia Mavrini mentioned this in one of her presentations a couple of weeks ago. So now, what do I mean by this? Embrace technology, but don't become it. Can you help me complete this sentence in the chat box? Mm-hmm. I have Rosana, thank you, Aurora. Yes, what else? What do you think? Don't do the teaching that machines will do in a few years, because machines, I mean, the apps will continue appearing. Imagine if I only went to my classroom and explained the theory or how something is, that is in YouTube. There are lots of grammar links, lots of YouTubers explaining things. So if I just keep doing the same things that already exist, because explanations, grammar explanation exists. How to understand, I don't know, or vocabulary, these things exist. Yeah, look, this is the idea. Yes, time finished. Yes, my timing. Can you see what it says here? So don't do the teaching that machines will do in a few years. Do the teaching that machines will never, ever be able to replace. And what will machines will never be able to replace? Things such as collaboration, talking to people, interacting, having the chance to listen to others, to create things. Yes, and that's what we need to develop in our classes. We need to give our students a chance. Well, that's my opinion. Yes, that's my personal opinion, and that's why I do what I do, because I want them to, I mean, not, we can't forget we are human beings. We can't become machines and just like learn to click here, click there, or just choose answers. Life will be different when I go to work. And right now, what about you and your colleagues? And what about in your families? So we need to learn to talk. We need to learn to work together, to coordinate, to agree, to disagree. And that machines cannot do that. So that's why we need to work on this. Yes, so that's it. That's the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for joining on a Friday night. And now, I don't know if you have any questions. I think I can stay 5 minutes maybe, and answer any doubts that you may have. Yes, okay, so let me stay here for just 5 minutes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Glenda, for this presentation with a lot of useful information. Miss Roxana, can you hear me?
Yes, Celia, I was listening to Glenda and to you also. Well, as Glenda mentioned, it's a Friday. And in the past, we were supposed to go dancing. But here we are learning. Thank you very much, Glenda. I was listening to the whole presentation with such a great activity or activities, no? Because you presented many activities, and there were almost 100 teachers tonight, you know?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Wow. So they are concerned. They have the compromise of learning all the time. So these 2021 pre-fall webinars or workshops are here because we have lecturers like you. There are many lecturers that are doing this great work. They are enjoying. Tomorrow, Mr. Jorge Garavito will be with us at 10 a.m., especially for teachers that want to apply to a plaza in the Ministry of Education. He's gonna give some tips about that. Then at 5 p.m., Mr. Enrique Liñán from Trujillo will be with us. Next Sunday, Miss Marisa Guacho will be with us, Mr. Mender Montenegro, and finally, Mr. Andres Rodriguez and Jean Elias will close this workshop. Thank you very much, Glenda, for having presented these useful and practical ideas. We are learning little by little. We are learning and we are becoming more effective teachers. And the result will be in our students because they need changes all the time. You know, they are not static.
No.
They are alive and they want to learn.
We have to embrace change.
Yeah.
We have to embrace change.
Yeah.
That's
okay,
it.
thank you very much, dear teacher.
Yes, thank you very much. Take care. A big hug. You are doing an awesome job, and I'm sure you're doing your best. Just keep doing that. And this, I mean, having you here tonight shows that you really are interested in finding ways to improve yourselves and help your learners. Definitely. Okay, so
thank
bye
you.
Bye
bye. So see you tomorrow.
Bye, Ramona.
See you at 10 a.m.
Yes, David, Rojas, Rosana, Ariel, Erika, Esther, Viviana, Elizabeth, Diana, Janet, Milena, Milagros, Zoila, etc.
Yes. Yes, thank you. See you tomorrow at 10 and at 5 p.m. Bye-bye. Sweet dreams.
See you all. Have a good night.
Bye, Celia.
Goodbye, Miss Roxana.